Wow. Say it ain't so. I did some research for you guys. Oscar Valdez, after his victory, we find out the WBC is connected to the judge that had the craziest of all the scorecards. Can't be good. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. My name is Ego. I'm your host. We're going to get started in just a second. I need you guys to like the video, subscribe. Now, boxing can't seem to get out of his own way. It's like boxing always continues to do this. I have actually officially watched, because I blacked out the fight, so I wasn't watching it. But after the controversy, because I had caught some of the rounds, some people told me to check it out. So I got the ESPN Plus app. I went and watched it at this point, and it looked like a robbery to me. The commentary, ESPN's commentary, I don't know what fight they were watching, but they were making it look like Robinson Collusion wasn't doing anything, which I'll get to. And then now, Young Forensic Files, aka Ego, I did research into the scorecard because I'm like, man, how did they have such a crazy scorecard, right? You know, the fight, there were no knockdowns. There was a BS point deduction that never should have happened. And, you know, I'm just wondering, like, how is it even possible that they had such a crazy variance in terms of the scorecards? But we'll take a look at some of the things that went on in the fight. And the judge, this is the crazy part about boxing, and really the unfortunate part about boxing, is the judge that had the craziest scorecard. His name was Stephen Blea, right? And he had it 117 to 110 for Oscar Valdez. You guys should see that on the screen, right? So Judge Stephen Blea had Oscar Valdez. They had a unanimous decision. This commission really should be investigated for future fights. You look at boxing, there's no consistency. I know they say boxing's subjective with the scoring, but there's really no consistency in how it's being scored. You look at the widest, horrible scorecard. First of all, how does Canelo affiliated fighters, people out of Canelo's gym, Canelo himself, how do they keep getting these scorecards that are just ridiculous versus Triple G or Lotta, 117 to 111, things like that, even with the fake deduction, right? So you look at this Stephen Blea dude, and I'll tell you more of the politics behind this, and he gave Oscar Valdez the first round, the third round, and the fourth round, right? You guys see that on the screen. But a lot of people had Robinson Collusion winning the first 5 rounds easily, and Oscar Valdez was off to a slow and bad start, right? So it's like, how did you get this? You look at this person, they gave Robinson, the one that had it 115 to 112, Chris, they gave it 1, 2, 3, 4, the first 5 rounds to the opponent in the blue corner. So these are questions that boxing fans need to answer. Now, I did the research for you so you don't have to. The thing that makes this look horrifically suspect is this is the guy that had the widest scorecard, 117 to 110, which in my opinion is ridiculous. Now, one of the first things you'll see is his home picture. He's wearing the WBC belt and a WBC shirt. So keep in mind, the WBC, he's a referee and a judge, right? Keep in mind that the WBC is the same company and promotion that allowed this fight to continue against their own WBC VADA partnership clean boxing rules when Oscar Valdez tested positive for phentermine. He says he believes it's herbal tea, but yet and still he doesn't really know where it came from. And they let him fight. So this is already alarming, and this caused young Ego Velli, aka Forensic Files, Mr. Forensic Files, to do more research, because I'm like, okay, so the actual judge that had the craziest scorecard, you see that he's connected, he's a WBC judge. You're like, all right. And then I started doing some more research for y'all, and it looks like he's pretty close to the WBC. right? You see him with donning the WBC shirt, right? I did my research for y'all. Look, he WBC'd out. He got the WBC Cares shirt, and it looks like a vaccination card, right? So he all WBC'd out. This is a WBC judge. And what are the odds? And what are the odds that somebody, we're not done. Hold on. He got the WBC champion jacket with the WBC, right? We're not done. We're not done. So keep in mind, this is the judge that had, you tell me things are fair in boxing. This is literally the judge that gave the fight to Oscar Valdez and gave him ridiculous rounds he really didn't win. When Robson Collusion, his rounds in the first part, what did Oscar Valdez do? So you see he's fully tapped in and connected. We're not done. We got more, right? We got more. WBC. Happy birthday, Mauricio Suleiman, from Stephen Blair, the guy who would later test positive. Look, is that a picture of him and Mauricio Suleiman hugging? So obviously this guy is pretty close to Mauricio Suleiman, right? Now this is a terrible look because this is the judge that is appointed, and he has a scorecard that most people on the internet can't identify with, can't understand how you scored it in such a manner. And then this is a guy that is clearly connected and tethered to the WBC, the same organization that lost a lot of credibility for keeping Oscar Valdez as their champion. And what is this? This is Mauricio Suleiman's dad, that judge. You see this? Wow. We got archive footage. So Mauricio Suleiman's father has passed a good amount of time ago. So this is clearly an older picture. Rest in peace to his dad. But you see this guy has been tapped in with the Suleiman family for quite some time. If he's in a picture with his dad, I mean, I could look it up, or you guys could look it up on Google to see when Jose Suleiman passed, right? I could pull it up for you. That's no problem, right? We ain't done enough. So Jose Suleiman, it says he passed in January 16, 2014. So he's passed for some time, as I just mentioned. So that's the same judge. You can't tell me things were fair. How is this fair for Robinson Collusion when you're in a situation where it's a pro Valdez crowd? The WBC shouldn't even have let him fight because he failed a banned substance. So he's arguably on multiple banned substances, possibly. We don't know, because we just know what he got caught with. Phentermine, which is nearly close to a diuretic, is listed as a stimulant. And Valdez didn't look good in the fight, no matter how much you tried to peg him as the champion. This is a bad look, people. This is Valdez post-fight. This is a bad look. This is Valdez post-fight. Does he look like a man that had an easy work, easy night? So no matter how much the WBC tries to protect it, you can't get away from it. This is Valdez post-fight. This is how he was looking. Does this look like a confident man that had a easy night at the office? You guys let me know that in the comment section. Does that look like a man that had an easy night at the office? So what did he, and the funny thing is this, the judge had it so wide for him, 117 to 110. So what did he do? Some people said, they're trying to say now, I see some of the racist fans, they're trying to say Robson Collusion was running. So if the guy was running, why does the status of your face look like this? If all the guy did was run, then why do you look beat up like that? Because his face surely didn't look like this. So boxing has a lot of questions to answer right now. Boxing is looking extremely fishy. If all his opponent was doing was running, why did he land more punches than you? Why does your face look like this? These are questions you guys should all be asking yourself. Why does your face look tattered if your opponent did nothing? So how did Valdez get credit for all these rounds that he really shouldn't have won? Why does Valdez's face look completely cut and beat up and battered if all his opponent did was run? These are questions that you should be asking yourself. And the thing that makes this look even worse is I showed you how this particular judge is tapped in and clearly connected with the WBC and the Suleiman family, even the father, who is now since passed. This is a bad look. It's a bad look. He had a wide scorecard. It can't really be justified why your scorecard is so crazy. And now we find out that the WBC appointed judge seems to be really cool with Mauricio Suleiman, the same company that really should have dropped, put it right there, really should have dropped Oscar Valdez as the champion. He should have been dropped as the champion when he failed the VADA test, the clean boxing program test. So it is clear to me that Robinson Collusion, he really stood no chance. From the biased ESPN commentary, in my opinion, to the ref deducting a point and making egregious calls and allowing Oscar Valdez to actually aggressively hit and rabbit punch in the back of Robinson Collusion's head, and he was given 2 or 3 solid warnings, whereas Robinson Collusion, when he was barely tapping him, like he was showboating throughout the fight, and then it looked like in a showboat fashion he tapped on the back of his head, and it wasn't malicious or anything concussive. And then the referee said, "Halt, stop," and called a halt to the bout, stopped the time, and said 1 point, and making it a possible 10-8 round unless you gave Collusion that particular round. Then on top of that, you have judges' scorecards that are tapped in with Mauricio Suleiman, and they're wearing WBC clothing. They're with Mauricio Suleiman's father, who is no longer with us. And you tell me that he really stood a fighting chance. Did Collusion have a chance to really win this fight? You guys let me know that in the comment section, because to me, all of this looks extremely fishy. It looks fishy that this happens on Boxing's watch. And we as a sport, some people wonder why the sport doesn't become bigger and bigger. It's lawless. People seem to do whatever they want. Oscar Valdez, he didn't look like the champion. He had a challenger that came in and was coming to fight. The commentary, I don't know what they were watching, but from what I've seen, Valdez didn't look good. So you guys can say whatever you want, but he didn't look good. That's the skinny of it. In my honest opinion, he didn't look good. And I don't see how a judge had it scored so wide, 117 to 110. What was he doing? If your face looks like this and your opponent's face doesn't look like this, that running stuff doesn't really work. He was showboating, he was having fun, he was relaxed. If he was running, your face shouldn't look like that. He shouldn't have outlanded you if all he did was run. And this is why boxing is perceived by the mainstream media as not even a real sport, because they allow people to cheat and fail drug tests, and then they rewrite the rules. This is sickening. This is disgusting. And then now, like, this is more confirmation, like I said, with the dude, WBC appointed judge, and he has WBC merch and WBC, gear and attire and belts. I mean, Robinson had no chance to win this fight. It's that simple. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TUBEBUDDY. I've used TUBEBUDDY for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TUBEBUDDY is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TUBEBUDDY and level up your channel faster. We work.